MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome back to the Big Small Business Show. And in studio with us today, we've got Toni Gaddie. She's a clinical and performance psychologist. And there I made a mistake. I acknowledged my weakness. And she's talking to us about champions and champion mindset and this concept of a whole champion, right? Is that right? A whole champion. And you touched on before the break, you touched on this concept of the voices in your head, right? And when you speak to entrepreneurs, they constantly talk about the voices in their head. They're the ones that say, come on, you can do it. And the other voices say, no, you can't. You know, that and these constantly in a fight with one another and them trying to manage those voices.
Well, that's excellent. It sounds like the entrepreneurs you work with already have self-awareness and awareness of their internal dialogue or internal world. And that's very much the first step. Mm-hmm. We need to be able to recognize that struggling voice. I call it your little me. Mm-hmm. And that is what was so groundbreaking when I studied champions. I was like so surprised. I thought champions would only be strong and positive and focus on their strengths and their abilities. And it was quite the opposite. Mm-hmm. Especially these whole champions that I'm speaking about. They were so comfortable and aware of that little me, that struggling voice in their heads, that they knew exactly how to deal with that voice.
So are you saying that if you sweep it under the carpet and don't deal with it and don't acknowledge it, it'll come and bite you effectively? So the strength of champions is actually, I don't want to say inviting the little me. Okay, it's not inviting, or maybe it is inviting the little me into your life and saying, you've got a place here, and I acknowledge you and I listen to you, but still going to, what is it, the big me, the great me, and giving that person more space in your head.
Absolutely. So everybody is different. Every human being is so unique, and that's what I notice in my work. It's about being very aware of what works for you. First, you need to be aware of that little me voice in the head, which is destructive, puts you down, doesn't allow you the strength to move forward. Mm-hmm. Once you're aware of your little me voice, then you have to experiment with what soothes it, what minimizes it, or what sometimes you have to be really firm with it and say, enough. And what allows you then to refocus and zoom in on thoughts, feelings, and actions that make you feel strong. And everything of that which makes you strong inside your mind and in action, in interaction with life, with daily actions, is your great me. And that's how I differentiate. It's about being tuned in, not only to that little me voice in your head, but being tuned into how your thoughts make you feel, how situations and people make you feel. And you want to focus on whatever makes you feel strong and bold as an entrepreneur.
Let's practicalize this, right? Because we're talking psychology here, and I'm not qualified to talk at this level. So let me bring it down to my level. In my daily life as an entrepreneur, I've got what you term the little me, that voice that is in your head, who's a little fearful, a little doubtful, a little negative. And then there's the other side, which is go, 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 you can do it, etc. How do I, especially the great me, like how do I use this in practical terms on a daily basis? Is it only when I'm feeling down or I'm feeling up? Like, how do I use all this? Is it just awareness? What is this? How do I use what you say?
So, as I said, everybody's different. It's about figuring out your own process. But the simple content or the simple steps are Number one, be aware of your little me and your great me. The thoughts, feelings, and actions that make you feel strong or make you feel weak. So it's that awareness. Number two, figure out what seems to quieten or soothe or shut up that little me. Shut up doesn't really work, but sometimes firm to that little me in your head, which allows you then to refocus on what makes you feel positive and strong and bold. And also there's a whole toolbox of tools which I use in my work, which shifts you, which allows, once you've acknowledged your little me and you've acknowledged or been firm with it, then using your tools to refocus, to move towards, to amplify the great me voice in your head, as well as feelings and actions which move you toward your goal.
Are you prepared to share some of those tools with us today?
I am. I absolutely are.
Can we get one in now, just one tool?
So I'm going to be quite cliche here, but I think it is cliche, and it's very important. There's two, if you follow social media, which most people do, there's two words which are very abundant on social media. The one is being present in the moment, and the other one is breath or breathing. So what I use with my clients is, once you're aware of your little me and your great me, all you need to do, and your little me is very loud in your head, once you've acknowledged or accepted him or her, it's about saying to yourself, thinking in your head, when last was I in a great me space? Was it yesterday? Was it 5 years ago? And think about that great me space. How were you thinking? How were you feeling? What were you doing? Have that on your left side, a little me on your right side, that awareness of both. And then it's about saying to yourself, well, I'm going to take a deep breath. And in this breath, I'm going to breathe in the thought, feeling, and image I have of my great me. And I'm going to breathe out this horrible feeling of doubt, of helplessness that I have with my little me. And it's breathing in, literally breathing in and feeling stronger, because you have that accessibility of how you felt one day in the past of being in your great me space.
We're going to take a break now, but when we come back, we're going to continue with Toni Gaddie, and hopefully she will share some more of those tools with us. Stay tuned.
MTN SME Hub, link to business success.